What's good? What's good? What's good? What's happening? What's happening, man? Welcome to the Refill. I'm your host, Ron Daniel. Listen, today we got another great show. Man, we got another great topic, man. Listen, we made it to episode 50, man. We put in a lot of time, a lot of grind, a lot of figuring this stuff out, let me move this mic out the way. Man, we got mics all over the place today. I ain't know that was in the scene. But man, listen, we got another great show today, man. Listen, if this your first time coming on to the podcast, man, this is a podcast dedicated to the Christian hip-hop culture that features and highlights the DJs, the promoters, the influencers, everybody and the artists, and everybody who make Christian hip hop, gospel rap, get down global wide. But if this your first time jumping on, man, y'all already know how we get down, man. We made it to episode 50. God is good. And man, this has been a great day, man. We had a guest that was supposed to come on today, but something happened. You know, technical difficulties they happen. You know, in the media space and just in life. You know, things happen. So we working on rescheduling him to come back on another time. But you know, even if don't nobody come on, man, I can do it solo. I've done a few shows solo, man, so I'm kind of used to it. So it's all good. But today's show, man, we're going to get into a topic. I was trying to figure out, you know, what we're going to talk about because it happened so late. The technical difficulty we had happened so late to the start of the show. So I was thinking, you know, I was just sitting there asking the Lord, hey, Lord, what you want me to talk about? And that topic just popped up in my head because I said, okay, I get that. And I also live by that, by faith and work. You know, we hear about faith and work all the time. You know, we hear about, you know, if you have faith, faith without works is dead. That's what the Bible scripture said. But listen, before we get in this topic, I got to do some house cleaning. Before we get in this topic, listen. Y'all do us a favor, like and share if you getting down with what we doing, man. If y'all like this podcast, we come on every Wednesday, every Thursday on Facebook, on our Facebook page, every Wednesday, every Thursday. We finishing up our website. Finally, we're gonna debut it. We just days away from debuting it. We finally gonna release it to where you'll be able to stream this podcast on social media, all the social media pages, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and our website, all at the same time. And so we took our time to build this thing out. You just can't build something. Well, I don't believe in building something, just putting it out there and it just look raggedy. You know, it just look messy, it just look raggedy. I don't believe in that. So the new website coming soon. Also, man, donate to the show. We do have people that donate. You see some information flying at the bottom of the screen. Move, I think it's left to right or right to left, but you'll see some information about VENMO. You see some information about Cash App and PayPal, man. Donate to the show. It helps us to grow and expand this platform global wide. And listen, I can tell you this: we're not using your money. I'm not one of those what they call them TV preaching evangelist folks that steal money and then they go out there and buy them an old G-Wagon Mercedes from podcast donations. We don't do that. We actually use the money to build a platform. And if you want to come up here, if you locally, you can come by the studio anytime to see what we're building and what we're doing with the money. I have no problem doing that. And one last thing, man. Remember to go to our Facebook page, like it, follow us on Facebook at The Refill Show. That's on everything, social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everything. At The Refill Show on all social media platforms. Let's get into this topic, man. Listen, tonight we're talking about faith and work will get you the results you're looking for. Now, this is a podcast, a music podcast, but faith and work your faith and your work ethic. I'm talking about believing in God. Now, some people may be watching the show and say, hey, I really don't believe God. I don't think he exists. That's cool. I don't have nothing. I know a lot of people that don't believe in God, and that's cool. We have our conversations and we talk about it. We get, our dialogue going on around it. I believe in God. I believe God is the absolute highest being in the whole entire universe. That's just me, because I tell people it's simple for me. We're gonna die. We're gonna die one day. And all this stuff we talking about and all this stuff we building on earth, it's gonna get handed down, hopefully, to somebody who would take care of it and move it forward. We don't know when we're born. We don't know when we'll die. So that's why I tell people that's one of the main reasons why I believe in a higher power. And that's where the faith come in, believing in God. That's the simple part. Now, the work part come into play where he's telling us to do something. And I'm going to use this podcast for an example. He said, hey, build a podcast, right? I have the belief that, hey, God is telling me to build a podcast for the Christian hip-hop culture. I believe that. I have that belief. Now the work part come into play. And listen, for those who tune in, you'll see me. If you're just not tuned in the show, you'll see me looking at all these different monitors. And here we got like 4 monitors that I have to look at during the show. So don't pay me no mind if I'm clicking and I'm looking, because I'm a one-man show in here. But it's all good. Listen, let me get back to what I was saying. We have to faith knowing that God is who he is, right? God is everything. Our hands are too short to fight with God. We can't shake our finger at God. We can't get mad at him. It's okay. It's okay to respectfully get mad at God. Even Moses in the Bible, he got mad at God, even to the point he made God repent in the Old Testament. I was like, man, when I saw that, I said, man, Moses made God repent because God was about to get down and start doing some things to his own people. And Moses was like, hold up. We did do this and we did do that and we did do the other. And the Bible said God repented and didn't do what he was about to do to the people on the earth at that time. So you can respectfully get mad at God. But what I'm saying is, tonight I'm not teaching you how to get mad at God. That's not the point of this podcast tonight. This show is talking about what we're doing spiritually and what we're doing just by working in the earth when God give us an assignment, or he say, hey, this is your gift that I gave you. Whatever the gift is, that gift can be, you could be a gymnast. That gift may be you a cake designer, or you a hairstylist, or mechanic, or astronaut. Whatever that gift is, I know what my gifts are. I work on them every day, and part of working on them every day, I love to get paid. So I get paid for working my gifts. My whole family, my whole household, my household, speaking specifically on my household, we working our gifts. We get paid. You see what I'm saying? For working our gifts, the gifts that God gave us. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know what it is God have for them to do. A lot of people struggle with, okay, what is it that God want me to do? What is it what did he design me to do? Now I'm just talking about the gift, and I'll get back to the faith and the work. It's going to line up in a minute. What is he telling me to do? What did he design me to do? You have to seek and find that out. What I tell people is this. If you want to know what your gift is, it's that thing you think about all the time. It's that thing you say, man, I like doing this. I don't care what nobody else say. Whatever it is, you may like making candles. You might like working on computers. You might like designing graphics, or you might like talking to people. You might like motivating people. You may be a motivational speaker. Whatever that gift is, that's what God put in you before we was even born in this world. I tell people this all the time. I believe God have like a blueprint. Just like we have blueprints in this world to build cars and buildings and houses, I believe God give every individual person a blueprint. And inside that blueprint, he said, okay, this is what Ron Daniel, I'm using me, this is what Ron Daniel is built and designed to do in the earth until he dead and gone. Every day, it's gonna make him money. It's gonna take him places. It's gonna do this. It's gonna do that for him. But this is what he is designed to do. Now, we all have gifts and callings. Some of us can be using our gifts and callings in the wrong way. I always use the rappers all the time. I say, hey, rapping is a gift. Rapping is like a music of poetry. But a lot of cats are using it to talk about everything wrong, as far as like, hey, I'm finna kill everybody. I'm finna smoke everything. I'm finna sell all the drugs. I'm finna take all the penitentiary chances. That's using the gift the wrong way. But some people say, no, they're just keeping it real. I said, nah, that's when keeping it real go wrong. Because a lot of the rappers, and I'm just using rappers for this example, a lot of the rappers live good, but their listeners are imitating what they're doing and they're going to jail. A lot of the rappers' children are going to private schools. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of the people that listen to their music, they're going to jail. They're in and out of jail. So that's where using the gift go wrong. Now let me get back to faith and work. Now, for those who watching this, you got to believe God is who he is. You got to believe that his power can do whatever because he God. I tell people all the time, I say, God is God. Who are we? We the ones that's gonna die. We the ones that get up, go to work every day. We get tired, we go to bed. God don't get tired. He don't go to bed and he don't sleep. He don't sleep. We sleep. We get tired. We go to bed. We get up. We deal with the ailments of life and paying bills and pains in our body and dealing with old haters, and some haters and some old bald head haters. Them extra haters. I call them some old bald head haters. We deal with bald head haters. We deal with that stuff. God don't deal with that stuff. We deal with that stuff. So when we're talking about God by himself is who he is. Don't make God hard. Don't make him this big, deep, whatever we think deep is. God is who he is. He can do whatever he wants to do when he want to do it. You see what I'm saying? There's a whole plague taking place in the earth. And man is trying to take credit saying, hey, it started by some monkeys. It started by not some monkeys, by some bats. I'm like, no, God ain't giving man credit like that. He's just doing his handiwork until it's all gone. Now, during the COVID, people died. My daddy died during COVID. You see what I'm saying? 4 months ago. So I get it. But I'm not mad at God because he died during COVID. You see what I'm saying? So you can't get mad at God, and you got to be careful if you do try to get mad at God. But let me get back to the topic. So we're talking about faith and how you use faith with the working. You apply the work with the faith. So God give us something that we believe. The Bible said faith without works is dead. So that means you can have the faith, but if you don't have the work ethic, it means nothing. So you can say, okay, I believe God is telling me to start a TV studio. But if I don't have the work ethic, then that faith becomes nothing. But here's the beauty about God. God has a beauty about him. Here's the beauty about God. If we don't take what he designed us to do and use it, that work is still going to get fulfilled by somebody else. Because everything he put in us, it can't come back to him null and void. That makes sense? What he designed in us, if we don't use it, if we don't apply it, and I'm not talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself too. That's why I get up and I work every single day, because I say, okay, Lord, I know this is what you want me to do. This is what you designed me to do. So I better get up and start working every day, sometimes to exhaustion. I mean, I'm just dead tired. In the South, we say dead dog tired. So the thing is, we have the faith, but now we got to have the work ethic. This is where the results come in at. The topic is faith and work will get you the results you're looking for. So you want the results. What's wrong with a lot of people that I've seen, that I've talked to, that I've counseled with, that I've consulted with, just over the course of time, people don't have the work ethic. They don't want to get up and put in that work. Now somebody might be watching this saying, now I go to work every day from 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 or 10 to 6. That's cool. You got to pay bills. You got to take care of your family. You got to take care of yourself. I get that. But you still have time. You still have the weekend. You still have after hour work. You know, but what a lot of people choose to do is, instead of taking that time and say, you know what, I'm finna take this time and I'm not finna watch TV. You know, they'll sit and watch TV versus using that time, that extra time to do work. Now, you got the faith. You got the belief. You say, hey, I know God put in me to make barbecue sauce. I'm gonna use barbecue sauce because I'm in the South, and in the South we like to eat a lot of barbecue. I don't eat that much of it no more. I used to eat a ton of it. I don't eat a lot of barbecue no more. I eat a lot of plant-based food, and it's good. But I don't want to talk about plant-based right now. Let's say somebody have a recipe for barbecue sauce, and you think about that thing every day: barbecue sauce, barbecue sauce, barbecue sauce. Right? God, he put in you to make barbecue sauce. But you're not taking this extra time in the day, meaning the weekend. If you go to work, the after hour time, you know, you go home 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, you may go to bed at 10, 11. Well, there's a gap right there. And here's another thing. Faith without works is dead. So you can believe that you are the best, you got the best barbecue sauce ever. But if you don't put it together, meaning work it, and find out how to package it, and find out how to market it, if you're not doing those things, then your faith without the works become dead. So now you just got this gift that's in you that's just sitting there. There's so many people going to the grave, dying every day, taking their gifts to the grave. But the beauty about God is it's not going to come back to him none and void. He's going to take what you don't want to do and put it in somebody else. I know people that have told me that stuff. That's told me those stories like, hey, I saw somebody designing clothes like the way I want to design them. And I'm like, so what's your issue? Well, I don't have time. I go to work every day. I come home tired. I'm like, no, you got to find the time. The one thing that I've seen over time that I had to get better with is how people can mismanage time and hanging around people that suck their time. And so what I'm saying is family members, friends, partners, homeboys, homegirls, people that suck your time, and they're talking about the same thing, they're talking about the same story, they're talking about the same people, they trying to hang out at the same places every week. People that suck your time. So what I did for me, what I done for me was I had to figure out how much time I really have in the week to do what I need to do, and then how to schedule that time as best as possible to do what I need to do. Y'all see this podcast? This came about by working. This didn't come about by just saying, oh, I'm going to click a couple of buttons and, oh, now we got a podcast. Putting this podcast together came from 10 plus years, 15 years of working in the marketing and the graphic design space to learn how to put this together. That's because I invested time into my companies. I invested time into the gifts that God gave me, right? I invested time. So the thing is, you can have the faith all day long, but you at some point you got to start working. At some point you got to start better. You have to be better with your time. You have to sit down and just map out how much time do I have in a week. There's 168 hours in a week. Everybody have the same 168 hours. But what we like to do, we like to go to work 40 hours a week and then trick off the rest of the time, the weekend time, the after hours time. Faith without works is dead. You can have the faith all day long, but if you're not willing to put in the work, you're going to be miserable. And then you're going to see somebody else doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's going to make you mad. You're going to get frustrated. Then you get jealous and envious. You see what I'm saying? You have to work. You have to mind your business and put in the work. It ain't coming no other way. Listen, I have a goal for this podcast, y'all see, to become the absolute best #1 podcast on the face of the earth. And when we get to that spot, I'm still going to be talking the same thing. Faith without works is dead. Because the basics of life never change. The basics of what I'm saying, it never changed. You got to work. God, we waiting on God. We always say, well, I'm waiting on God. I'm waiting on God. I'm waiting on God. And then we say that for 5 months. Then we say it for a year. We say it for 2 years. We've said that for 3 years. We've said that for 5 years, 10 years. And God is waiting on us to move. God want to bless whoever looking at this. He want to bless you. You see what I'm saying? He want to give you his very best. But he's not going to give it to you if you sit at home watching all the episodes of Power. If you sitting at home watching all the episodes of The Shy. If you sitting at home you watching all the episodes of whatever TV show is on Hulu and Netflix and Amazon Prime, he ain't going to bless you. You see what I'm saying? He's not gonna give you that thing that you have in your mind, that thing that you desire, that thing that you want to do. He's not gonna give you that good success that you want unless you decide to work. So you have to take your time and figure out and map your time out and say, okay, how much time do I have during the week to do what I need to do? A lot of people I'm going to use a Friday night. Tomorrow is Friday, right? A lot of people would take their Friday night, they get off work, they go home, they rest up, they get dressed, they go to the club and sit for 4 hours. Well, that's 4 hours of time you could be doing something. Or they wait till the weekend, they say, okay, hey, we're going to the pool party every Saturday. And they sit out there 4-5 hours. What time stand up again? That's 10 hours. That's a half a day that you could be doing something and working on something. And I say this too. This is what I found. I'm not a name caller. I'm not a name dropper. But what I found to be true is I've gotten older in life. A lot of people just lazy. You know, a lot of people want things. They have the belief that they can do it, but they don't want to put in the work ethic to see it through. You see what I'm saying? They don't want to say, you know what, I'm gonna work on this product. I'm gonna work on my gift. I'm gonna work on what God gave me to do, what I believe He gave me to do. I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna work on it, and I'm gonna work on it every day until it's perfected, until it's making some money for me. Until now I got money to get staff, and now I can expand and duplicate and replicate what I started with at my kitchen table. You see what I'm saying? So we got to stop this thinking that God's just going to drop something in our hands. That ain't happening. He ain't gonna just drop it in our hands like, oh, okay, you want to be the best fitness trainer, you want to have the biggest facility and all the nice weights, well, here you go. No, you got to work towards that. It don't happen like that. It's not going to happen like that. He said, you say, hey, I want to be the best athlete. I want to be the best wide receiver in the game, dominating the game, killing them boys on the field. And you ain't putting in the work. But he gave you the gift where you can catch passes with one hand, 2 fingers if you can. You got the speed, you know how to run the routes, but you're not putting in the work. Not putting in the work. So, got choked up. So, got choked up if I keep that good drink over here. And it's non-alcoholic. It ain't no alcohol in it. I don't drink alcohol. So, I'm going to end this. I don't want to stay on here too long, but I'm going to end it with this. We have the faith. Right? Everybody have a measure of faith. The Bible say we are given things according to the measure of our faith. That's in the Bible. Look it up. I don't have my Bible in front of me. But every man have a certain measure of faith. I believe God can do whatever, whenever, however he want to do it. That's just me. Some people don't think like that. And they say, well, why? They ask me, well, Ron Daniel, how do you think like that? What got you to thinking like that? I said, well, God is God. Who are we? We gonna die. We not, what they say, immortal or mortal, whatever it is. We gonna die one day. We're gonna pass away. You see what I'm saying? People pass away every day. So we gonna pass away. And everybody looking at this, y'all gonna pass away too. That is what made God God. He don't pass away. He don't die. He don't lie. He don't error. He's a perfect God. And we're imperfect people. But he did put in us a gift. He did put in us a measure of faith to work that gift that we have. But the problem is, in order to get to the gift, to the good success, we have to work. We have to take the gift that we have, that he gave us, that he made us with, whatever it is. You could be a model. You could be what they call a catwalk model. You could be a photographer, football player, basketball player, politician, a school teacher, a school principal, a school administrator, somebody who can run the whole district, wherever you live. He put that in you. I tell people all the time, I tell my mother-in-law, she's a retired school teacher. I tell her from time to time, God done put the gift in me to be a school teacher, to be around a whole bunch of kids. That just ain't it, man. I'm wired up different. that ain't me. So God gave y'all, whoever, and me too, a gift, a talent, a measure of faith, and a work ethic. That's what's going to get the results you're looking for. But if you sit and looking at and hoping and thinking that God just going to drop it in your hand and you procrastinate and you want to be lazy, and your work ethic, your approach is lazy. You know, you want to procrastinate and push it off to tomorrow. And you done pushed it off for 5 years. You done pushed off that thing to tomorrow for 5 years, 10 years. Because you like going home, laying on your couch, watching TV with that remote in your hand, clicking those channels, going to sleep, getting up, getting you something to eat, and clicking some more channels. And you done watch 10 episodes or whatever the hottest show is. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to get nowhere by doing that. You got work to do. We all have work to do. This podcast, again, my goal for this podcast is to be the #1 podcast in the Christian hip-hop space in the entire world. Now, somebody watching this like, oh, he talking crazy. But see, I know me. I know the God I serve, and I know the people that's around me that's working to help us push it. See what I'm saying? Anything, the Bible said, don't despise small beginnings. Don't despise small beginnings. You see what I'm saying? And we live in a time now in the social media space where it's not about where you're from. It's about what you're doing, where you're at. So you can be in Atlanta or you can be in backyard Mississippi. and you can still be successful at a high rate. So whoever watching this, I am a celebrator. I'm not a hater. I want to see people win. I don't understand haters, but they out there. And haters don't motivate me to do nothing. What motivates me to win is actually getting up, working, and putting in the work and making it happen. I would never say, haters motivate me to get down every day. No, that's not happening. But I like seeing people win. I like seeing people successful. That's motivating to me. So whoever watching this, you have to decide today to get up, put in the work long hours with that gift that God gave you, and believe God that He gave you that gift, and believe God that He's directing your path. The Bible says the steps of a good man are ordered. The steps of a good man are ordered. So there's instruction and direction and people you need to link up with when you working and you believe in God. So just remember this before we get off this podcast tonight, episode 50. I'm thankful for everybody who been rocking with us since the first episode. Is now rocking with us at episode 50. It's a lot of work. Take a lot of work. Take a lot of grinding. Take a lot of trying to figure this thing out. I'm not into numbers. I see the numbers, who watch some weeks, who don't. I'm not into numbers. I understand the algorithms and all that stuff. I'm not into that for this, because I understand who God is, and I understand that He don't look at numbers. God don't look at what you have. Remember, I'm gonna give you an example of in the Bible where He chose 300 men to defeat 10,000. Now, just with our eyeballs, we thinking, man, 300 people can't beat 10,000 jokers. But we're talking about God, and that's when God step in. The same God who said, hey, David, pick up the stone and pop Goliath in his head and kill him dead. David looked at Goliath and said, who is this uncircumcised dog messing with the people of God? I like when he said that. Who is this uncircumcised dog messing with God's people? He picked up the stone, he said a smooth stone. He smooth hit that joker, bloop. And that thing knocked him out and killed Goliath. So we know the story about David and Goliath. Again, it was something small, a rock. God used 300 men to kill 10,000. 300. But that's where faith come in. That's where the power of God come in. So that's why I say, I'm thankful that we reached episode 50, because it took a lot of work. It took a lot of grind. It took a lot of believing. It took a lot of trying to figure this thing out. And we know where we're going. We know what we want to do with the platform. And whoever watching this, it's going to take y'all help too. Let's build it together. That's why we ask for people, hey, you want to come on the show? Come on. You want to donate? Donate. Make it easy. And, help us out. And so we can continue to grow this platform. But listen, I'm not going to hold y'all up, man. I'm glad y'all tuned in tonight. Next week, we got 2 more episodes next week. Episode 51 and 52, man. I can't tell y'all who it is yet, but there's some dynamic artists that's coming on next week. We already got them in. Even the next week following, the end of the month. In 2 weeks, we'll be at the end of August. So we got 2 more artists. So we got 4 more artists for the rest of this month, man. So continue to follow us, like what we're doing, comment, let us know what we're doing. I appreciate the emails. I appreciate the people that's inboxing. I appreciate people that's people that's checking out what we're doing, and they like what we're doing. So remember, before we get off this thing tonight, you got the faith. Now it's time you got to use the work. You got to work. And if you want something from God, if you want that good success, if you want to see those results, you got to put in the work. and you got to work like you've never worked before in your life, that's where God kicking in and the blessings of God come into play. If you just not started, or let's say a makeup company, and you only get one room, one chair, and you doing one client a week, stay faithful and continue to put your work out there, and then God will bless you with people that's up under you and a whole 10,000 square foot room and your own makeup line. That's how he operate. He want his people to win. He want his people to be successful. Listen, man, that's all I got. We're gonna get off this thing, man. I'm glad y'all been rocking with us from episode 1 to episode 50. You know, we put in a lot of work every week since October. We almost at a year. We almost at season 2. And so season 2 started in October. So, man, y'all keep rocking with us. We'll get off this thing. Come back next week, next Wednesday, next Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. on the East Coast, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. So, y'all continue to rock with us, man. We're going to see y'all next time. Every week we give y'all the double chunk and the boom boom, and we about to get off this thing.